What is up, everyone? Welcome to another build order video on this channel. Has been a little bit of a while, I know, but I'm planning to do these a little bit more often in the future. Yeah, even though like the game changes quite often, therefore the build orders also will change quite often. But that is why we will be starting with the Clan of the Wolf here. Not only because it's one of the build orders which I feel like the most home in right now, but also because I feel like the Wolf Clan is getting the least changes with the next update, basically, the next balance update. Therefore, I feel like the Wolf build orders will mostly remain unchanged. The only change that is really notable is that the Veiled Threats bonus is now on coinage. I'm not sure if that will be quite bringing back the Veiled Threats build here. Maybe it gets more of an option afterwards, but the Field Ration build that I want to show you today should very much still be around, just like the full mid-tree build, which is usually also pretty strong. But we're today going with the Field Rations build. Let's jump straight in. And the first thing which we're going to do is, of course, to build the scout camp. What we want to find out right now is, do we have any gold around us? Do we have a ruin or do we have a shipwreck? That would be like, this basically decides what we do in the build here. Otherwise, we would want to build the shipwreck pretty much instantly. The dock pretty much instantly. So we're just gonna check out if we can find something. Sometimes you can also lurk a little bit in the shadow and see if there would be something popping up. Right now, it looks like we don't have one, honestly. That's why I'm just gonna start building the shipwreck here. The shipwreck, yeah. The dock over here. We're gonna see. Let's double check this here, but it feels like we're going to need the dock here. Which is not too bad, like too big of a problem here. Our chief will obviously be a little bit later than if we would have a ruin, but this is a situation which you're gonna run in relatively often if you're playing Wolf. I'm gonna send one scout back to make everything a little bit easier here. We will definitely need a house. Don't really know if I want to build it in the main tile here. Taking 2 tiles is always not the best thing I want to do. Yeah, but we are kind of forced to do it. So let's build the house in the main tile here. Also, we will need wood production. Let's start with that. Send 2 villagers into the dock to get the gold production. I don't know if I want to go instantly too, because we also have a lot of wood to get here. But we would want to get them as early as possible, of course. This scout here, that's a little bit of a question. I usually want to get it back as soon as possible. Maybe ask my teammates to scout like the tiles that connect us so I can clear them out later. But it doesn't seem all too easy here. We definitely need one of the tiles surrounding us. I feel like we're just gonna go with this one here. Well, this is coastal. Is this coastal? I have no clue. Like, there's stones over there. We're gonna find out. In the long run, it would be pretty nice if it would. We're gonna find out. So what we need is 40 food so we can get the iron, because the first thing we want to do is get the chief here. Sorry, I didn't really mention that right there, but this is usually with all wolf builds the very first thing you're looking at. Like, how can I get my berserker as quick as possible in my base? We have 5 villages here. That means we're gonna micro a little bit. Every villager can take 2 hits, and then it will be low, basically, after it were hit 2 times by a wolf. We dodged that over here. That means, yeah, we don't have low villagers here. Like, they are not wounded, even though they took a few hits, but still they don't count as wounded. Helps us out quite a bit. Yeah, the one sailor is already doing a great job here. As soon as I got my axe thrower up, I feel like I'm gonna set the second sailor in. Because then we actually need to push our gold a little, so we actually reach the 200. will also fall a little bit. Like, we still need 10 gold to build the mine over there. This is still 10 gold that will be gone. Plus, our general upkeep will rise a little bit when we build all the buildings that we need here in the early game. Sometimes the way you do it obviously changes a little bit, depending on if there's a wolf on your iron. If there wouldn't be a wolf on my iron, I would be happy to just build the camp as the very last thing and go with the mine first. So you gotta adapt a little bit to the situation that you have in front of you. Obviously, it's gonna be a lot easier if you get a shipwreck, even though that you gotta keep in mind that the update will change shipwrecks, so you will only get 100 wood out of it instead of 200 wood. Makes them a little bit more balanced. That were at least as I had it in my better experience. I don't know if there's like another system behind that changes it like significantly. For me, it felt like it would be just like 100 wood instead of 200 wood. You can see right here, if we micro a little bit, we can end up with the X-Thrower not taking any damage, which would be pretty nice. Not always possible. Sometimes you want to hurry a little bit. For now, I feel like we would want to hurry a little bit, so I may even take one hit here by the wolf. Took one. Still fine, the villager's not counting as low. And back. We got the wolf down. We quickly gotta pivot over to food, because I'm just not having enough to take the tile there. Don't want to bottleneck us too much on iron. It will already happen a little bit, but not gonna be all too bad. I'm going for the X-Pros here first, by the way, because I want them to support me in the early game. A pretty good unit to help clearing, basically. For now, we are going to go with the sharp axes, I feel like. We want Spoils of War. And we want to go, I can just make a little pause here and explain to you. What we want is field rations and definitely Spoils of War relatively early into the game, so we can kill drawers and everything else for gold, basically. Field rations is our long-term goal, so if we can get medicine, for example, relatively early, that also helps us to heal ourselves, but Spoils of War is really one of the most important things we want right here. If I would have an easy way to get my chief here and just get him out really quickly and start clearing out really quickly, I would go for weaponsmith here and not really take sharp axes. But since it's a little bit further away right now, I feel like I can send a villager over to the lore stone and still get a weaponsmith in a respectable time while having the sharp axes bonus running for me all the time. So you also gotta adapt that a little bit to your situation. What do you feel like is the best thing you could go right now? Sharp axes is just something that will universally help you, basically. Weaponsmith only helps you when you have units out, so you gotta like somehow weigh that out. What is the best for you in this certain situation? So gonna get a lore master here as soon as we can, basically. If you get the lore stone really early, maybe wait until you really know that your berserker is on a good path and then go for it. I feel like I am right now. Not gonna focus too much on gold anymore. We're now on food anymore, because as soon as the berserker is out, we're gonna be out clearing for our teammates, which will then mean that we also get a bunch of wood by killing wolves and everything. Now we can't really go around. We're gonna get a low villager here. It is not too bad though, because we can have it as an extra later on. We would prefer having a non-low miner here though, so we're gonna switcheroo our warchief. And we can also get another house. So we needed to scout this tile here ourselves, slowing us down a tiny bit. We have 2 Valkyries on this tile, making it really hard to clear out. Since we are playing with AI here, they already cleared themselves out mostly though. See here, they already have army doing stuff. Making them not need our help that much right now. I still want to be around. Get it. Feast here. 801. Okay. We don't dislike that. Not something that we really needed here, but we don't take that. I feel like I'm gonna send the scout back and have the low villager as scout. Because as wolf, we can already press T. Like the neutrals on the map is something really important. In team games, your teammates should usually know that they should have a scout out, scouting like a little bit further than they usually would if they have a wolf or lynx around, so they can basically run around and clear everything. Let's get the berserker out. If that doesn't happen, like I oftentimes play around the stone iron ranks, where you have a lot of players that don't really get that and don't do it. In these situations, I will have a scout running around for me, just like, even though it shouldn't really happen, like the wolf shouldn't be the one scouting around. You should fully focus on clearing. But if you see that your teammates don't do that, just clear yourself. Make your life a little bit easier. Have a scout out. Just scout a little bit yourself. I know I just misspoke that a little bit. And I'm just gonna quickly get my bodyguard here, since it's easy to get. That's something that is hard to weigh out sometimes. Like, you don't want to let your teammates wait for too long, but you obviously also want to get your bodyguard if you can get it. Right now, you're gonna have a little bit of clearing to do in the winter, which is not my favorite thing to do, but something needs to happen here. Bang. Let's go. We go over there, clear these wolves for him. We can get another one up there generally. We don't have that much food throughout the next time now. Let's see how we realize that. Miners here. Also slow down a little bit. Not mega interested in the iron right now. I'm still gonna mine it obviously to upgrade my kind of depends. If I expect a lower drawn out game, I will upgrade warriors and sailors. Is not usually what happens though. Sometimes the games are a little bit more aggro. And then I usually want to upgrade axe throwers and warriors. Also because I am going for the leadership tree here. We go for that just because like the bodyguard early game helps us out a lot, and the warchief of the like the berserker, like the warchief of the wolf clan, is pretty strong. That's also because he is a little bit more expensive than the other warchiefs, because he's also a little bit more key to the clan and its strategies. And later on we will get armed wing of the clan, so our warchief will benefit from all weapons forged. So having upgraded axe throwers and warriors can be really strong, because a warchief will attack a lot quicker because of the axe thrower upgrade, and it will also be able to chase behind units because of the warrior upgrade, which is really strong, I can tell you, having such a strong unit. By the way, I just jumped through the Valkyrie tile because I have a allied tile and another allied tile. It doesn't even really matter if they're allied, they just need to be empty. There can be no neutrals in there. And then I can jump through the Valkyries here over to my teammate and try to help him a little bit, because he just gets wrecked by wolf. I hope he doesn't kill the low one, and he will of course. In the end, as the wolf player, you want all the last hits. Our teammate doesn't care about that, lets us starve. Is an AI teammate, right? Most of the players around Northgard already know that you should just give all the kills to your wolf. Since we are doing pretty fine here, and I feel like we're gonna go a little bit more aggro. We are already thinking about the next upgrade. Losing the bodyguard, by the way, is not a biggie. That's a unit you don't need to clear to heal. So, it's fine. We can just get him back in a few months. And this is very close. I don't know if it's necessary, honestly. Ah, no, I have no damage on the axe thrower, but we have two Valkyries over here. Get it? I'm gonna throw the axe thrower away here, even though he's full health, but I cannot have an axe thrower standing around there for such a long time, because we are gonna go healers now. Plus... Screw that. We get hunters. And we get healers over here. Just to have a little bit of food production. We don't need as much here, obviously, but in the long run it can help to have at least one food building up, even though it's non-upgraded. Whoop. With that, we're gonna heal our chief. We'd go for Spoils of War already, which I feel like should be nice. So as soon as the chief is healed, we can focus on the Valkyries over here, basically connecting our teammates with each other, which is always pretty important, right? If you imagine that the purple player gets rushed here, I have a tough time to get my army over with this 2 Valkyrie. Just the same thing, if I get attacked here, my teammates have a pretty tough time to come over and help me. That's why we're doing that right here. Teammate is getting yet again attacked. Problem is he's just clearing everything himself, therefore I am not really getting the food benefit out of it, which I would really like. Like, he already took 45 food away from me, which shouldn't happen in a team game, basically. Therefore, I don't know. It has also upsides to play with AIs. Usually playing with actual players is a little bit stronger, obviously. So, right now, like, we could actually go for the X-Thrower upgrade already. Let's do that. Also gonna get the Wolf upgrade here. The Warrior upgrade here. Just we're thinking about the Wolf because I want more food. We have more food around us though, that's pretty nice. But we're gonna go for the Valkyries first. A bodyguard would be kind of on the way. Feel like we're just gonna get an X-Thrower here. Let's go. X-Thrower can come in there. Maybe a little bit closer to the lurker. Right here we're gonna start the X-Thrower upgrade pretty much instantly. And then our next goal is to get a war camp up. We can get the Warrior upgrade, which is generally, let me just explain that really quickly. The Warrior upgrade is generally a little bit more important than the X-Thrower upgrade in general. It will make your game a lot easier. I still like having upgraded X-Throwers in an 801 rush, because it can really decide the game if you like hit your opponent when he doesn't really realize it, or if you just feel like, okay, this attack is gonna be so strong our opponents can't really handle it. In the moment where you overextend and your opponent has the warrior upgrade, though, you're gonna lose your whole army. If you run home and the warriors are able to run behind you and tick you damage, you're just gonna lose your complete army. This is usually why we also want the warrior upgrade a little bit preferred than to the X-Thrower upgrade, because yeah, it's just that game deciding. In the end though, the X-Thrower upgrade isn't bad, it's just a lot more all-in, way more micro-dependent, and it can go wrong a lot of times. So if you want to play it safe, go for the warrior upgrade. We're even gonna go for both here, because we don't really want the sailor upgrade, but that also has a little bit to do with us playing with AI here, and me feeling that the AI is not really gonna scout the opponent for a long time. Like, usually I would like to attack your opponent here at the end of the year already a little bit. In the start of the next year, we definitely want to be in and like harass them a little bit. Won't be able to do that here most likely, because we're really dependent on our teammates to scout for us, and yeah, they probably won't do that. But we're gonna try to do what we can here. So, go for the Valkyrie. It's not gonna be enough, I feel like. Yeah, getting a bunch of damage here. So, healing a little bit. Then we can get the second Valkyrie. X-Thrower upgrade is also already on the way. We have another feast here. That's pretty nice on playing with AI, because they feast way too much, way too early usually, which helps me a little bit with the build order, of course, because I'm just straight up gonna have a little bit more resources than I would have in a team game, where you would prefer to get your most of your feasts a little bit later into the game. They're basically feasting here like we would rush, while not really scouting for a rush here, basically. Gonna be real interested if the Skrill actually starts mealing here. That would be nice. So, let's get the other Valkyrie. That still won't quite be enough. The next hit and we gotta go. X-Throw upgrade is just done. But the Valkyrie is also almost done, so that is pretty nice. Yeah, they can go home. We get the warrior camp. Right here I go for colonization, because that will help me out later on. Maybe colonizing closer to my opponents here, which would be pretty nice. Let's see if that actually works out like that. If I would have a map, for example, with a bunch of bears around, he's gonna get attacked by a... Oh my. That dude got a problem. The effect thrower can get over here without dying. He will at least take 2 hits. See if we can help our teammate here. That's something that usually won't happen, that your teammate gets attacked by... Attacking you? Why is the Jotnar attacking me? What have I done wrong? Huh? Well, okay. We gotta try to save both here. Something... Usually it doesn't happen because we don't have a bad relationship with Jotnar. But we seem to have. I don't know if my teammate attacked them or something like that. Everyone is getting attacked by Jotnar. Okay. Haven't seen that in a while. But that spices us up clearly. That's something that you're never gonna have in your team games though. That won't happen to you. Yeah, we can't really save him here because I don't want to die by a Jotnar. This is weird. Making a little build order video here. Everyone is getting attacked by Jotnar. Not really knowing why. Maybe one of my teammates attacked them or provoked them in any way. I do not know. We're gonna try not die here. Yeah, what I wanted to say, if you get a lot of food, you usually, like for bears and everything, you could get a second X-Thrower here at the start of the game, which is what we are gonna do here. Because that will make us a lot easier to clear out all the giants. Sadly, gotta clear out my own one before. Because, like, I have a lot less time to get rid of them. Am I able to get the bodyguard here? Yes, that's pretty good. Maybe the bodyguards taunts the... Yeah, perfect. Should be possible to clear this one out. We had one. Gives us a lot of military experience though. That's pretty nice. The warrior upgrade on the way. The very weird happening should be over soon. We have the ghost attack coming in. A lot of stuff on the same time here. No one said that this would be easy. We come over. We're running with the 2 X-Throws now. That's how it goes. Sometimes I rather want to have the second dock before that. But that isn't always possible. I would usually prefer it before going double X-Throw really early. Maybe it gets a little bit better if you have another wolf in the other team and you know you're both fighting for like all the neutrals on the map over here, right? You're both fighting about all of this. So if you get a second X-Throw, you're gonna be a little bit quicker than your mate, your other wolf. We need a bunch of healing here. That's the thing now. Now I stand around for healing and I have 2 X-Throws eating my food away. Not what I usually want. Rather would have 1. But yeah, like I said, there are situations where you would want that. I can break my scout camp down now. Usually you can do that a little bit earlier if one of your teammates is, yeah, basically scouting. If not, you're gonna have a problem. Going a little bit higher on wood here. Going a little bit higher. You're not gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a problem if a teammate is not scouting, yeah, obviously. But, yeah, you don't need the scout camp then at all. You go for the wolf over here because it's a little bit of food, and we like food. Oh yeah, now I know what's going on. We're getting attacked by the Jotnar because we have a snake in the other team. He has skirmishers in there, deteriorating our relationship to giants. One of the stronger traits of the snake. I don't know if that's still gonna be a thing after the update. I haven't been too deep in the snake there. But there are certainly some snake changes that will be coming. So. Oh my god! Okay. Well, we're in a build order video here, right? But I feel like they also deteriorated their own relationship to the giants, and Sven died for that. Bye bye, Sven. And that is how you win your free games, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying it. Not really that hard. You don't even need to attack your opponent. They're just gonna die at some point. Oh, our teammate is also going to die. Okay. I thought he blocked that Jotna at some point. He didn't. So welcome to this. Our chance of having somebody to scout now got lowered by 50%. We don't really mind about the winter here. We are still running around, clearing out everything we can. We have up there more draugrs. Draugrs are now also pretty interesting. Medicine will now help us to clear, to heal up a lot quicker. Because every killed draugr obviously gives us gold. Our gold economy right now is okay. We don't even have a second sailor in there. That makes a big difference here, of course. Since we have so much food, I feel like we could get away with getting a second dock here and at least having one villager in there. You always gotta see, like, how is your food look? If your food is looking really bad, maybe you don't get additional axe throwers, maybe don't get sailors. Additional sailors. Maybe just run with the 2 sailors you have, or maybe even 1 if it's looking really dire. If you have more food, you can always think about getting more axe throwers to clear out the map a little quicker. Or you can also think about, adding sailors here to basically just have more gold production going on. Always depends a little bit on the situation that you're in at that point. But for now, feeling pretty good on food here. I feel like I can run around with the 2 axe throwers here, so at least 1 sailor should be able we put on top. At the end of winter, we're also gonna spam camps here though, so I might just gonna get 1 sailor. Because that is usually the point where we want a full attack. We can do other things. I don't know if we have kobolds on this map. Because before we could also think about going for the kobolds. By the way, this year, a very nice way to get rid of non-ranged draugrs. Only works on non-ranged though, and is usually the reason why you would go for axe throwers. You can just run around with your chief, baiting them, and your axe throwers are gonna make short work of the draugr. Not as short as if you would just go straight for the draugrs, obviously. Because you're missing out on the berserker damage, so it always depends a little bit. Do you have time to do that? If you do, then you should do it, because you're getting less damage, basically. If you do not have time to do that, you don't. So, we keep the chief over here, because this giant has AoE damage, and we don't want to get AoE damage. With the axe throwers, we can easily play around that. Actually, a pretty interesting game coming out of this build order video here. Because the giants are so pissed. Which is a little bit... The only thing that is a little bit sad that I'm not really gonna be able to attack the opponent here. But I think you can expect what will happen. So, Claymore. And go over here now. Getting even more. Because I'm getting fully ready to attack now. Nothing really bothers me that much anymore beside of being able to attack. Field rations is well on the way. We can get another feast out here. Right now I would rather keep the food here. If I would play in a team game yet again, I would maybe just put out the feast here to help my teammates to also be ready. Because usually, just a little small pause here again to explain. If I run forward and attack right now, what will oftentimes happen is that the opponents get a lot of army to block my attack. And afterwards, obviously, they will run over to my team. and attack them. That will oftentimes happen. Be aware of that. If you start attacking your opponent, they usually don't take it that well and start attacking you too. So that is a reason why you could feast right now as the wolf. Obviously wouldn't do that if the goat would still be alive. Then he should be feasting. Oh, well, he doesn't lack X throwers, does he? But yeah, I would at least ask if they want to feast right now. So if the attack comes back, they also are kind of ready to block this attack. So we are going quite good. We have 10 warband right now, which is not super crazy, but it is okay. We have 2 X throwers. I'm gonna stop our raid here. So, if I get my full army right now, I'm just gonna do it. Even though we can't really attack our opponent right now. If I want to get my full army right now, keep in mind that if you can get your bodyguard, you should take it. And we're gonna add warriors now. We're gonna take 2 X throwers, 3 X throwers max, and the rest is just gonna be warriors. So we basically have the chance to hunt our opponent over the map. Yeah. Basically able to punish overextension to the maximum. Right now I can also get more warriors here. Feel like the last roggers that we can find. The kobolds are over here. Kobolds is something that you also want to go for if you get the chance. Like in a game like this, if the situation like we have right here would now happen. Like I'm in a game, my teammates didn't scout. It's 802, I can't really do anything. I have an army out, which will oftentimes happen when, for example, you get rushed, like you get attacked. I have an army out. I can't really like get an attack back to my opponents because they are not scouted. What do I do with my army now? First off, I run around the map, obviously, kill everything I can because it's so easy right now with such a big army. Will end up with me gaining more gold and in the end gaining more warband, therefore. We have field rations over here, and now comes an interesting question. It depends on what you plan on doing. If you're more on an aggro game right now, you know, it's just going back and forth and you kill each other and you don't think you're gonna be able to do that much anymore, I would usually suggest to go for Baldur's Blessing, what I'm also gonna do over here. You can, however, definitely also go for Yord's Blessing, because if you upgrade your Town Hall, the villager recovery that you will get from that is more worthy than getting the free happiness out of Baldur's Blessing. So if you can afford the upgrade at some point, the stone will be more helpful for you. On top of that, you also get iron, of course, and this iron can maybe help you to get like the sailors upgrade a little bit later. Maybe you went for the sailors and warrior upgrade, then you can get the X-Thrower upgrade on top. I would keep 5 iron, of course, on your bank if you go for that. For example, like some people sometimes, never me of course, can lose their warchief, and then having 5 iron on top can be really helpful. So gonna go over to the kobolds now. We're gonna take the Baldur's Blessing here. It's just a little bit easier, you know, you need to do nothing, you just get the happiness, pay out instantly. No other questions. I'm gonna break down this now so we can build another camp, because our gold will obviously slowly build up as we run around the map, kill more stuff, especially when our army is a little bit bigger. Now we gotta go for the kobolds, not only for a little bit of gold, which will obviously be pretty nice to have. By the way, we don't want to lose any army as wolf. We can keep the army up permanently because of field rations. Field rations will give us minus 50% military food consumption, which is already reduced by default for the wolf. Like by default, our military units already consume 30% less food. That doesn't mean that our units will now consume minus 105% less food, though, right? Like we have 30% less, so it's 70%, and from that 70%, there is now 70% deducted, basically, right? 75% deducted. So in the end, I don't want to crunch the numbers too much right now, but you know what I mean. It will not be 0, but it will be very low. So we go in here, kill the last kobolds. Not trying, trying to not lose a unit here at all. And now we get 50 fame and 50 military experience on top of the military experience we got for clearing the kobolds there. We will have a red event. We will absolutely get destroyed by that, but it's not too bad. Usually we wouldn't really want to run around right here. This is really where we want to be. We want to be in our opponents, but I can't see that there's no scout on their territory there. Does the squirrel have an upgraded scout camp? Nope. So we are also very, very far away from actually being able to attack our opponents here, which is what we want to do as a wolf around this time. You can see our gold is already climbing up. We can get more and more army here. Right now, let's wait a second because the feast, the rats might very well wreck us here pretty hard. If you want to run around and you have like these low units, I would say usually, yeah, the warrior is instantly dead. With this warrior, you just keep your low units at home, for example. Can do that. Now we have another low warrior there. Holy moly! Yeah, this red event here were one of the worst things that could actually happen to us, because we had so much low army, which now most likely dies. Most likely dies. Ain't too bad though. So yeah, right now we need to stay at home for a little bit of a while. We can run around with this army here, because no one of them is low. We could also try to colonize closer and closer to our opponents, which can be pretty good. So you don't get that much of melee of basically attacking far away from your territory. We could, for example, just clear these wolves, then send it. We could go even closer. We can just take the tile. We have the 200 already for a chief. We can just clear this tile out. I know we lost another warrior because we didn't switch around with the healers. That's something you always got to keep an eye out. That doesn't happen to you. And now we can use our 200 Dominion to like colonize closer and closer to our opponents, which can be pretty good, let me tell ya. So yeah, I feel like you got the general drill of the wolf here, right? We're right now basically building up camps, getting more and more army. You could even think about taking the lore master villager off and getting more and more army, going more and more all in here. Having a few extra lores obviously can be super helpful, but as the wolf clan, the most important thing in the strategy is to get field rations, have a big army up, and then basically use that army to have your opponents have a bad day, basically. This is what you really want to do there. We are obviously not all too able for that here, because our teammates didn't really scout here for us. Usually in a team game that should happen, at least at some point. I feel like even mid 802 would have been enough for us to run into our opponents with like 10 army, which can be really nice. Right here we were able to reach leadership, which should be your goal if something like this happened to you, just basically to have every case covered. If something like this happened to you, just run around the map until you get your leadership level 4, which is rally. That means all the units that are in the same zone as your warchief will attack what was 30% quicker. 30% quicker move and attack 30% quicker, which can be a big difference maker in a fight. And since I still want to show you that, we're just gonna attack some big boys here, and we're gonna do that just to show you how good that can be. So we are gonna go over here. Would be nice to have that before the winter, because I feel like in winter we have no shot at all. It's gonna be real close though. Our warchief goes in. The rest of the army goes in. The warchief goes rally. And now I'm gonna try to go for the giants here. We're gonna lose some army. Always try to run the low units. Now the winter is here. We'll make it really hard to kill these guys. Let's go. Yeah, it's a lot harder than it used to be in the past. So maybe not the first thing that you want to clear out anymore, but I wanted to give you one last fight here for the build order video. So yeah, I hope you've been enjoying it. This is basically the wolf field ration build order like I would do it. Of course, a few specialties here because we started to get attacked by giants, but oftentimes I can tell you no game is normal in Northgard. Like, no game is normal. It's what I learn more and more, and will never stop learning in Northgard. Like, no game is normal. Something will always be happening that is a little bit off. You try to normalize it as much as possible, but yeah, usually that is like the big fight, trying to make the game feel as normal for you as possible. But yeah, you will need to be able to adapt to a lot of situations here. I hope yeah, that you're gonna have a good time with the wolf here. Yeah, you never really gotta go for stone here, which can be really helpful. Obviously, if you want to upgrade your town hall with your blessing, you can definitely do so. It can be really strong, but otherwise you will never really go for any stone. Which also means if there are second stone tiles which you can give to your teammate, for example, I could also say, hey dude, you need a second stone right now. 2 camps. I can build these 2 camps just up here. If I need new ones, dude, just take the tile, take the stone. I don't need stone. This is things that you can do as wolf, and you should maybe do them. Try to help your teammates as much as possible, not only through clearing their tiles, but also keep your mind open, like what other stuff they could really need. Like, you want your teammates to clear for you, to scout for you. You want them to do that at a time where they would really prefer to do other things than scouting for you. So you really should keep your eyes open on how you can help your teammates. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. Yeah, well, a pretty nice game here, let's say, with the giants. Made it a little bit special. I hope not too special. If you enjoy videos like this, yeah, leave a like down below this video so I know that build order videos are actually something that is still wanted by the community. I'm generally more yeah, interested in doing more of these videos here. There will be a lot of changes to the clans, of course, with the next balance upgrade, which I will first need to dig in a little bit to like exactly know what the best strategies are, or which are strategies which are nice to play in the new environment. But I feel like the wolf clan should pretty much stay as it is right here. Field rations build very strong. If you want to get a lot more aggressive, you can go for the mid-3 build, which I could also cover at some point. Just really hard with AI, how you can see here, because with this build you definitely want to attack an 801. And yeah, hope you all have a great time in Northgard. Maybe see you back in the next video, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. See ya.